I did look at that video. I agree with some of it, but I will, full disclosure, I know that a lot of Muslims seem to think these are demons. I wear Egyptian clothing. I am of that faith. I'm of one of the faiths of the cults of Egypt. But we have the same common enemy. I want to live organically. I want to live as it was intended. In case you're wondering, those deities of ancient Egypt aren't demons. They are anthropomorphized forces of creation. For example, this deity represents the destructive force against evil, to put it bluntly. And it's a lot of it's the repeating patterns. You have the eyes in ancient Egypt, the left and the right eye. You have the same thing, the Buddha's eyes in Buddhism. It occurs quite a lot, but so I would like to say that firstly, they're not. I mean, these aren't demons, and there is one deity in Egypt who is Satan. They have their own devil, just like in Buddhism they have the Mara, that's their name for the devil. But again, they have the name for the devil. They don't worship it. They're against it. And in ancient Egypt, there were people who were for the devil, but there were also people against it. For example, Heliopolis, the worship of the sun. They were of the divine light. They didn't want Satan's energies. They were against it. They were against the restrictive nature of what Satan is. I've literally spent years studying this. And in fact, the story of Muhammad travelling up to the heavens, he didn't travel on his own. I believe he travelled on a winged horse, or what you would call a unicorn, which they exist in Chinese culture too. So I think my personal opinion is look a bit beyond that. I understand that it can be very easy to view them as just pagan devils, and I get that, and I used to kind of believe a bit of that, but it really is quite a long thing to explain. You can ask if you want. I have no problem explaining that to you. I'm not trying to convince you to any specific religion either. You do what you want. Yeah, maybe Bill Cooper was another actor. It seems to be that Hollywood, at least, I think it's creepy that everybody in Hollywood knows each other. I think that's creepy beyond creepy. The idea that if I had become an actor, I'd be expected to be within certain social groups living the same. Yeah, I mean, that's of the devil, that's of the world, because they want you to partake in that of the world. I've been rejected from my sensei was unhappy with me because I didn't go drinking alcohol. In England we have pubs, which are places where people drink alcohol. They are viewed as a good cultural symbol. I view them as disgusting because men would get drunk and go home and beat their wives and children. Disgusting. So I agree with you. I agree, alcohol is what you would call haram. I have never been drunk. I think it's a repulsive thing. But I love cannabis. I absolutely adore cannabis. I love hash, I love cannabis flower, I love the smell of it, I love the taste of it. I love when you rub a bit between your fingers, you get that lovely smell. Oh, it's so good. I love the smell of a grinder opening up and you get the different terpenes of different plants, like last grow and this grow. It's great. Anyway, back to the video. Well, about the forehead thing, I have the same thing actually. I don't know if you can see. It's like shaped like a V, and it goes to a vein in my nose. I have veins there and there that pop out, but I can assure you I'm not a Satanist. If I was one, I wouldn't be getting this much problems in my life for what I do. I stand alone against this system for the most part, to the point where I was attacked recently by British police, and that intimidated and scared my neighbours, because my neighbours don't have any problem with me. It's just two women of the devil, high licks, disgusting, but, well, I'm trying to think what else to say about the video. I do agree with you, for example, that in terms of, I don't believe that the ancient Egyptians were demonically possessed. I know the bit where it says the Tutankhamun, that symbol he has on his forehead. If you have the desire to learn, I can tell you what that symbol actually means, where he has the snake on the forehead. And I know it does sound strange that there are snakes, but it's symbolic, a lot of it. But definitely the people today, the high masons at the top level, the Hollywood, yes, they are possessed, 100%, 100%. You can see Billie Eilish, you can see the eyes, they don't look right. So you can see sometimes people's eyes go fully black. I've seen one picture, it was not, as far as I know, it was not edited, and the pupils were like slits, like a snake. They were like that and like that. And that's not human, but you can see my eyes don't do that. But yeah, demonic possession, that's a real thing. I'm not denying that, but I think a lot less of it is like in the movies. They're not going to show it. They'll only show it to someone as long as they can get away with it. They're not going to do it publicly because that would reveal what they are. They don't want the public to know what they are. A lot of the stuff I don't understand, but there was one more thing I'm going to add. And yes, of course, Ahmadinejad and those guys, yes, they're obviously controlled. I mean, that's controlled opposition, of course it is. As is modern Iran. You can tell that because they locked down for COVID. The cars they use have microprocessor computers in, meaning that people are dependent on the computer. Iran uses LED street lights, which are part of the smart infrastructure of what you are calling Al-Dajjal. So I am familiar with your prophecy. But I'm assuming you've studied the Quran quite heavily, so you'll know the part where it says there will come the time where a year passes as a month passes as a week passes as a day, and a day passes as an hour. And that's what we're in now. Definitely time has sped up. I remember when it started speeding up. It was at the end of 2012, and it's been progressively speeding up more and more and more and faster and faster and faster. But that's nothing to be afraid of. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's as human beings go back to the source and back to the higher frequency. And I think that's everything in reply to the video. But, I mean, to be honest, about the Hollywood thing, I find Hollywood to be creepy anyway. I think, it's people. I remember when people would be like, oh wow, Beyonce, and I actually went home and I looked up Beyonce to know who she even was. I didn't, so definitely people do treat them as idols. Monkey see, monkey do, but I've always been more independent, so I don't know. I notice if you're interested in possession, alcohol, that does it. When people drink alcohol, people become possessed, and I've learnt recently that alcohol means al-ghul, that which, like a ghoul, a rotting corpse. And that's what alcohol seems to do. My family on my mother's side are alcoholics, and they're awful people to be around. And I find it to be one of the most unattractive things in a woman to see them drinking alcohol. It's disgusting. I've never drunk alcohol. And it helps you look young to stay sober. There's no reason to drink alcohol. Without my beard, I still look, I mean, I'm a bit tired because I have quite severe dream disorder. So I know spirituality. I've seen the things you're talking about. I have the sight that a lot of people don't. But other than that, I know I look young, and I take anti-aging supplements. I don't drink alcohol. You can post your replies and what you think. And again, if you want to know anything about what I believe in, you can ask. I don't mind. Just as long as it's tasteful. Please don't just tell me it's a demon, because I Anyway, be well.